Hello, geeks. I've been expecting you. I see you've come for your weekly dose of geeky news. Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Talon, and I am here to bring you that geeky news. Yes. Purr for me, angry kitty. Purr for me. He's actually not happy, so I'm gonna let him go now. Without further ado, let's get into the news. We've got some great stuff for you this week, including a fifth state of matter. Also, the robot dog Spot is available for purchase for a small teensy-weensy sum. Oh yeah, and a long-lost treasure has finally been discovered. By long lost, it's really only a decade. All on Geek this week. This week in gaming. The latest Dungeons & Dragons sourcebook, Mythic Odysseys of Theros, brings us a piety system allowing dungeon masters to punish puny mortals for disobeying their god. Or rather, grant benefits when they do their god-fitting. It's an interesting mechanic that allows every class, rather than just the typical cleric, paladin, or warlock, access to serve an all-powerful entity. Though it has practical, combative, or utility bonuses for players, I personally think that this new addition to the core rule set of D&D encourages more roleplay options. I haven't picked up the sourcebook yet, but I'm excited to start introducing the mechanic to some of my campaigns that I run or am a part of. The new sourcebook also introduces several new races, new subclasses, new monsters of mythic descent, and even god weapons. Signature weapons of deities that allow you to be unique and stand out from normal adventurers. The alternative cover is also super sick, and I kind of want the book purely for the dope artwork alone. You can of course pick up your copy at your local game store today. This week in streaming services. The United States Space Force is at war with, well, Space Force. The new military branch is fighting to trademark the branch name, but the Netflix series that premiered at the end of May might come away with the win. In fact, Netflix has already been locking down the rights for the title in several countries, so Netflix might actually have the advantage here. Of course, there shouldn't be any reason viewers should be confused about the fact that what they're watching is by no means a series about the actual military branch. I mean, it's a comedy, and it's not like our current political organization isn't one huge joke, right? Well, in any case, Space Force is pretty good and it's available on Netflix now, so you might as well check it out. Who knows? Future generations might consider it a documentary. Throw some shade. Throwing some shade. That's me throwing shade right there. This week in tech. It's official. Any business can now be the proud owner of Boston Dynamics Spot. Now that Spot 2.0 has been released, that is, with improved autonomy and navigation features. It only costs the same as a Tesla Model S. That's just shy of $75,000. So that price tag may seem steep, but Spot is a one-of-a-kind creation that can take care of projects that humans just don't want to or shouldn't do. Boston Dynamics is pitching Spot as a multi-purpose mobility platform that you can customize with all sorts of sensors and can be programmed to run patrols and even inspections. A popular use is to send Spot into dangerous or overwhelmingly repetitive for humans locations to take readings. Zach Jakowski, the lead robotics engineer at Boston Dynamics, gives the example of walking around a factory 40 times a day, taking the same exact picture over and over again. Boston Dynamics will continue to upgrade Spot as they continue to get feedback from customers. They are also working on a robotic assault course that allows customers to test drive Spot around the BD headquarters. But BD says that many customers are already in the shut up and take my money mode. Right now, the Geek Wave is petitioning student media at the U to get our hands on one. I want to do cool stuff with Spot like Adam Savage. Fingers crossed for a $75,000 grant? So you've heard of double-bladed lightsabers, double-dipped fried chicken, and trouble. Sorry, make that double. But now we're getting double-sided solar panels. Researchers from the Solar Energy Research Institute of Singapore have found that these innovative solar panels can produce 35% more energy and, in turn, reduce the cost of electricity by around 16 cents. And believe me, that adds up. Two-sided solar panels have the advantage of being able to absorb energy that is reflected up off the ground as well as, well, from the sun. And tracking allows the panels to maintain more surface area for absorbing solar energy. This is an exciting development that will hopefully allow solar panels to continue to grow in use and wean the human population off of burning fossil fuels even faster. This week in science, a fifth element has been found. Wait, no. A fifth state of matter has been found. Yeah, that sounds less like pop culture. Last Thursday, the results of an experiment on the ISS was revealed, and it confirmed that the Bose-Einstein condensates are indeed a real thing. Formed when atoms of certain elements are cooled to near absolute zero, BECs exist between the macroscopic world, ruled by forces like gravity, and the microscopic plane, which is owned by quantum mechanics. BECs are ridiculously fragile since they can be affected by gravity, and nearly any interaction with external forces will warm them past their condensation threshold. So observing them on Earth is near impossible. The hope is that BECs can help start explaining what the hell dark matter is, and where it is, and how it can be behind the universe accelerating expansion. And if you're interested in how scientists created this, we'll leave the link to the scientific articles in the description. As someone with ADHD, I've had a difficult time focusing on and completing anything in really anything resembling a timely manner, except for video games. And as it turns out, there's a semblance of a reason for that. In fact, Endeavor RX, developed by Acolyte, is the first video game to be authorized as a prescription to help children between the ages of 8 and 12 with certain types of ADHD. It's not a sole treatment, but it's exciting to see game-based therapy continue to be recognized as clinical treatment. The game is designed to help improve symptoms with children interacting with it 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week, over the course of 1 month. It has shown results of improved attention, though with some reported negative effects, being frustration, headaches, dizziness, and aggression, but none of them seem to be too serious. In other news this week, the infamous treasure of Forest Fenn has been found. The now 89-year-old antique collector created a treasure hunt and left clues to find it in his 2010 autobiography, The Thrill of the Chase. Fenn confirmed that treasure was found by an anonymous man under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains, unmoved from whence he placed it there over 10 years ago. The chest was said to contain around $1 million worth of gems and gold, and Fenn estimates that as many as 350,000 people from all over the world went hunting for his treasure. Some even quit their jobs, and unfortunately some even perished on this dangerous quest. Regardless, the treasure has been claimed, and now we must wait to see if more treasure will be hidden for the world to find. And now on to our Save You Click segment, where I bring you news that is worth knowing but maybe not spending a whole lot of time on. For instance, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, one of the most underrated RPGs of the last generation of consoles, is getting remastered. THQ Nordic will be releasing the game with improved gameplay and graphics on August 11th. The Almighty, a giant Cabal superweapon in Destiny 2, has been destroyed by Mars AI Rasputin. It took a really long time, almost 30 minutes of in-game waiting, and watching red streaks of missiles barrage the structure high in the sky until its inevitable destruction. The Last of Us HBO series finally has found its first director, Craig Mazin, the creator of Chernobyl, the HBO movie not the nuclear meltdown site, and writer for the upcoming Borderlands movie. He seems like a geek, so hopefully the project is in good hands and it doesn't end up in limbo like so many other video game cinema titles. Looking at you, Halo. Production isn't planned to start until after the release of The Last of Us Part 2. Tomorrow. The James Webb Space Telescope has once again been delayed, bringing us closer to XKCD's predicted actual launch date of late 2026. The culprit for this delay is, as with most of the recent delays in everything, caused by COVID-19. Well, that's all for me, folks. I do hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below to stay up to date on all your geeky news. And of course, don't be afraid to comment about any geeky news that got you excited. Or down in the dumps, like me with the James Webb Telescope being delayed once again. Everyone, don't be afraid to stay geeky.